Okay. Hi. Previously, we ignored everything that was going on there. Subsequently, let's look into this wall. We're going to take a good look into mechanism. By a good look, I mean a medium look into some basic stuff. Now, let me just make sure I've got that image up ready. I also actually need fluid conduit, I didn't think about that. I'm going to do a system that I looked into wherein you can get there we go. You can triple your ore production, which will be very good. So, good ores to test it on. Let's just grab those quickly. This should be back far enough, I would assume. Hopefully not incorrectly. I will also... Actually, that... This can continue with me. I won't need that wrench. Don't need the shovel. We'll look into all these in a second. But I will need energy to follow me initially. So, here's a setup. Purification chamber, crusher, enrichment chamber, I stole it from upstairs, energized smelter. Crushers there, purification, enrichment. These all I want to eject output dark blue, that's on the right. And then eject on output to that one. Eject on, and this doesn't matter because that just... Oh, they're already powered. That's a bit confusing. Oh, well, I'm not here to ask questions. Let's just chuck coal down. So here's how it works. You chuck your ore into here. It then goes into this, goes into this, goes into this, and you get 3 times the bars. Now, it's not that simple as just chucking it in and it goes through. I wish it was, but it isn't. We need to give it some friends. And I'm just going to wall that off. Cool. Which will actually need me to go back a bit further. So, actually, based on this image I'm looking at, these 3 can just work. Only thing is the crusher needs the right thing. I believe, yeah, if you enrich an ore, it'll give you 2 dust, which goes into smelter to give you 2 output. That's all well and good. Let me just make sure I've actually got input. Yeah, that's not what I didn't think about. Input. Input. Cool. So that's what, 1, these are 1 at the front, then it's 2, 3, 4, 5 back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I do want a side one, because we have 2 types of pipe we need to deal with. Obviously, energy. Come on, just, there we go. Make sure these are all connected up. Then we do it like this. We're getting an electrolytic separator. Now, I made these all off camera just because they were a bit tedious. Most of them, let's take a look at purification chamber. This was probably the most complicated because I needed to make another enrichment chamber, which I didn't steal. Just need steel, and I had to process this through the metallurgic thing. Then you got to make these, which are double. It was just a lot of these, like so many. So I thought I'd save you all the trouble. But basically, you want an energized smelter and an enrichment chamber. This is to make 2. Then if you want to make 3, you'll want a crusher and a purification chamber as well. And that will also require an electrolytic separator facing this way, because that's the front, I guess. No, I've done this one wrong. did want it this way, yep. And another sink, because sinks are great. This is why I've got my fluid thing, because I can make a fluid pipe for this. This one's just for gases though, so we'll just make that always extract. That goes into here, which is going to chew through power, because it's making hydrogen and oxygen. I really am going to need to hook these up, aren't I? Get another bit. Then I get the gas burning generator. Okay, maybe I'll just place it forward. Cool. And then pressurized. That's going to fill up with hydrogen and produce energy, which will actually produce enough for this. Now we're going to want to set these to dump excess, apparently. So that way, anything that isn't being used it'll just keep producing, basically. This is going to run indefinitely. And look at that, it's actually... Hold on. Sorry, heard noise. This thing will take the hydrogen that it's producing and actually power at least itself. It should also apparently provide power for all of these and function neatly. Is that? Okay, don't worry, I feel like I'm hearing a dinging, but that might just be my imagination. This will just be input. That's extract always active, so water's always going to go in. This is going to constantly make hydrogen and oxygen. Then we want to get the pressurized tubes. Make sure that's all actually coming out. Good. These can run down into electricity is the lightning, gases are the exclamation mark, and plug that into here. So this has oxygen. And there you go, that's the setup. It's actually that simple. So you've got the oxygen flying around into the purification chamber. Hydrogen's going into the gas burning generator to create energy to power all this. It's going to slowly start filling up with oxygen now that this is complete. Water's going in, power's going into all these, and they should auto output. So let's try with iron. We chuck it in. Energy is stable. This energy isn't, so that's a bit interesting. You get 3 iron clumps. Iron clumps go into the crusher. It crushes it through into dirty iron dust. And the other ones will get processed as they get processed. Dirty iron dust turns into, I think, regular iron dust, which will then turn into an iron ingot. Now then, I am going to want to actually get some power. No. Why do I always have to build this incorrectly? What's this? Atomic reconstructor. Who needs it? Not me. Let's just do that. Make sure everyone's happy. Cool. So, 3 iron ingots out of the 1 ore. Now this is slow, but upgrades. You can chuck in upgrades for energy and for speed. I don't know what the gas thing is. And I think it's like you can times it by 4, so it'll be more efficient with the energy thing and it'll run faster with the speed. The speed one will also therefore tank more energy, but it'll do that. In addition, while it's not running, the hydrogen's going to be going into here and it's just going to be generating electricity, and that's going to help fuel, I don't know, I think, fuel this bad boy, supposedly. That is an input. I'm also probably going to want to just make sure I think about it. Clean this up and honestly just get rid of it, because this made sense. Do I have? I think so. That's the pressing the button for light. I'm thinking I'm going to look deeper into mechanism generation of power, and I probably said that last time. Whoops. But this mess was resource and time intensive and kind of just a waste. So I will clean this all up probably at the end of this. Yoink. Okay. Okay, it is on. Cool. So I will turn that off, therefore. Cool. Okay. I'll clean this up at the end, and I'll look into power generation afterwards. But this is our way of somewhat slowly. Also, that's actually not taking power out then. No. Let's just do that for a start. Set you to output. I don't have any cable because of all this crap going on. Go. Yeah, I really need to clean this up. Maybe I should do that now. I'll look into it in a sec. So let me check what I've got going on my board. Oil power. Absolutely get rid of this crap. That's right, a mechanism induction cell. This is something I did want to look into, because if you get an induction cell, this is a multi-block structure which stores power. You start with these casings, which are not very expensive to make. And then you make a port, which this is a little bit more expensive to make because that uses diamond, but it only uses 10 diamond, which one crushed diamond will give you 10. But if you make this diamond plate, or compressed diamond, sorry, with the enrichment chamber, that works as 80. So 8 times, which is kind of just how that works now. You make that so you can access in and out, which is why you get 2 of them. So you can put energy in and then take energy out, or you can make as many as you want as multi-block. Then even a basic induction cell, and this is basic, only trouble is lithium. We'll get to it. But a basic one takes a basic energy cube. This is, you're small, very easy to make. 800,000 RF, like stock standard boring. You chuck it with some extra of these lads and some lithium, and this suddenly holds 400 million. And the thing is, you can put multiple in that multi-block. Multi-block is at smallest 3 by 3, so hold on. Tell you what, you're going to come with me and look into my test world so I can explain this better. Welcome to my test world. This is where I've been testing a bunch of random stuff, plus playing around. Example, there's vehicles from, what is it, Mr. Crayfish's vehicle mod, which is interesting. But it needs fuel, which needs blaze rods and ender pearls, and I'm nowhere near renewable with those. So I was just kind of playing around, seeing what they're all like. This is where I was trying to set up this thing with my thing, my different sets of checking it out, my things. I just had like all this canola going in, coming out into 3. This used to have wind turbines. They, again, don't exist. But let's get to the meat of it. Here we are. This here is what the induction cell looks like as a multi-block. 3 by 3, doesn't need to be, but it needs to be a rectangle. Can be like horizontal, so like 3 by 3 by 4. It needs to be at least 3 by 3 by 4 in some direction. And then it does this little redstone effect to say, hey, this is correct. Here we go. So it needs at least one port to access it. then one cell, which stores a whole lot. This is what I was looking at if I do duck. So I was looking at basic cell, which holds 400 million, and then one provider, which is this, which needs another cube, and it's not very difficult to make. The provider changes the output and input. Maybe to the output? Just output. Changes how much this puts out, because the shell is always the same, only difference is what's inside. So these stack with the different tiers from basic all the way through to ultimate, basic all the way through to ultimate, and you can make massive ones. So let's say I was to grab an induction cell, just basic and just basic. So you start like this. Doesn't matter what order these go in. I will also do one of these. Plonk those all down. Side note, this needs to be on the wall. It can't be in the corner. So that's active. You can right click anywhere to check it. So this thing can hold 400 million and it can output, it's not going to tell me, this will though, it can output 25,000 RF per tick. But it's pretty fast, it's pretty good. Actually, I could get that. And the thing is, it doesn't need to be really expensive and make this stupid massive one, which holds 204 giga. It's not actually in terms of like how megabits are, what is it, 1024 for a milli to turn into a kilo or however it works. That just basically means a billion. So you go K, wherever it was, this one, K is 1,000, M is a million, even though it's technically mega, and then G is for billion, even though it's giga. So this thing would need an ultimate energy cube with elite, and that is, it just requires a lot of stuff to get up to 204 billion. Expensive as. Or if you just do this, I might even just put the same 2, which, why not? Which should therefore double the output to 51.2. Plug that in. Suddenly, hey, this holds 800 million, Where is it in here? Or let's say I want to do another one and I can keep the lower output. 1.2 billion. And that's really cheap to make. So that's the kind of thing I want to focus on. However, that therefore requires lithium. And lithium is complicated because you need to build a thermal evaporation multi-block thing, which needs controller, 2 valves, 1 for in, 1 for out, and then preferably 4 of these advanced solar generators. And I made 1 and it took me a while, but we can do it. And then a whole lot of these blocks in a, 4x4 by at least 3, can be taller. This will turn water into brine. And I need a second one to turn brine into liquid lithium, which then needs to pipe out into a rotary condensator to turn liquid into gas, into a chemical crystallizer to turn lithium gas into lithium dust. And that is how you make your lithium dust that these need. Which means you need this, which is not very hard. But that's the gist of where I needed to get to, where I would like to get to, is to make that big ass thing, which means making this big ass thing, which means I'm going to need a lot of space and open space as well, because this needs sunlight. And these aren't even to produce energy, this is to heat it up. Yeah. Also, here's another test of it, including the cloche. Oh well, I tried. And I was also looking into miner because why not? But yeah, that's the idea. back to survival. Okay. So, yeah. Now I was going to get started on it, but then I realized just how long this has already been, given demonstrations and a little bit of cleaning and setting up stuff. So, give a quick rundown of what I need to do. I need this casing at least 9 by 9 plus 8 plus 8, which is 16 is 25. So I'm going to need to make a little bit extra, which might be able to make it a bit bigger then. So I'll make 28 sets, I think, therefore. Yeah. No, I can make 20. Yeah, it's either 24 or 26, so I guess 26 it is. Yeah, it's not much bigger. No, not 26, 28. Still, it's only 3 blocks extra. That's not enough to expand it. That's okay. Either way, I will make these. This is how they're made. I'm just going to show you quickly. The port's easy enough to make. That's your triple stack with the diamonds. Then I needed to make lithium out of you, thermal control. Let's just do mech therm. So we all know how it all works. Thermal controller requires the thermal evaporation block. Advanced glass pane. I've got plenty of glass panes. This just needs that around that. Very easy. I need 4 of them total. Gosh. And then just therefore a million of these. I don't even know how many. And then also I'm going to need 8 of these, which are agony, because that means that I'm going to need, quick maths, 24, right? Is that right? No, 32. Come on, Sol. 32 solar generators, which means 96 solar panels, which means a lot of enriched alloy. And that's before taking into account how many of these are required to make, like, these, to make all the appropriate, like the valves or the controller, or the fact that I need to get a basic energy cube, which requires them in here. But that's what I'm going to be working on. It'll be similar to the previous time, where I'm just going to make the stuff, and then, like, I'm going to make all the materials, and then when I come back to it, and here's one I've already made that took me forever for one. When I've made all the materials, I'll come back, I will build the things and show them working and hooking up how I want them to. But yeah, thanks for joining me. It's a shame the oil stuff didn't work as well as I wanted it to, or at all efficiently. But yeah, thanks for joining. I'm going to clean this up as well. This is nice. And I will see you guys next time, whenever that is. But yeah, thanks for watching. Don't feel shy to like, comment, subscribe. Love you guys. Catch you next time.